Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is for you folks. Hello, what is happening? Good to see everybody in there. Oh, let me just see what we got here. There we are. What is happening, folks? What is going on? All the usual suspects seem to be in there this evening. Let me see, where is my audio here? Why does it seem like it's a little bit lower here? Let me see what we got here. That seems a little better. That's not too bad, right? Okay. Let me see here. Get it all straightened out. Make it a little bit low. Oh, yeah. You guys like the tree here? Oh, yeah. All right, let me make sure this is good. How's the audio, guys? It seems like it's pretty good right there. Or do we need to pump this thing up a hair bit more? Seems like it's pretty good. All right, let me see what we got here. James Cragen, sir, thank you very much for your support. Always appreciated. He said, happy Christmas to all of you great people. Again, James, thank you very much. I do appreciate you, brother. And Kyle, you as well. Big ups to you guys, and I appreciate all the support, especially through the year. You guys are awesome. And you said the Mars Anomalies and Beyond t-shirts are excellent, you guys and gals. Trust me. Yeah, for some reason that thing's still not 100% working right. We got to definitely check that out for the new year and stuff like that, and come up with maybe some more different designs. What do you guys think? At least that's what I'm thinking we should probably do. Excuse me. But yeah, I figured we don't have to make this in super long. I know a lot of people, at least a lot of people I know, will try to, go to family members' houses and do different things on a Christmas Eve and stuff like that. So, I didn't want to hold any of you guys up unless, of course, you guys want to go. I was thinking maybe an hour, a little over an hour, we could do that. That's up to you folks. Because I know a lot of you people want to, jump off and do other things. And I know some of you guys are saying, well, I'm kind of busy. They said they're going to try to make it. So I understand. Yeah, all that other good stuff. But let me see if I can get this thing set right here. It's just at the very top of this. Salute to you, to Dondrell Richardson, James Cragen, of course. Mr. Phil C is in there. Mimi X, what's going on, Mimi? Merry Christmas. Long Island, New York, what's happening? Mr. Mike Knapp, what's happening? Good to see you in there. Noodles is in there. What was flying over the Mars helicopter a few weeks ago? 'Twas Santa, see? You guys seen it? That was actually done by, believe it or not, by NASA. That's not something I did. That was pretty cool. I said, I'm going to throw that up there. It's pretty neat. Oh, let me see. Mr. Tim Houston's in there. What's going on? Mars the Second Genesis. What's going on? Good to see you in there as well. Michael Stark's in there. Merry Christmas to you and yours. And everybody here. Merry Christmas to all you fine folks as well as your family. I hope everybody has a healthy one and safe one. And Santa brings you everything you ever wanted. Or your spouse. Shh. Anyway, so Daniel Lee's in there. Hi there, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas, Chris. Hope you are okay. Danny, I'm doing well, Danny. I hope you're doing well. Corey's in there. What's going on, Corey? David Clark says, hey all. Hey, Chris. I'm finally off the second shift and can join the fun. Awesome, man. Good to have you in there. I did put up the link because some people asked me to do that. I did put the link. It's at the top of the comment section there. If anybody wants to donate and support the channel to PayPal, you can do that. For some reason, well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say for some reason. It makes them sound like they're bad people. But they just say, I don't know, I just feel weird about doing it right there in the chat. So I'd rather, so this is the reason why I came up with that alternative, which is it supports the channel no matter what. So I do appreciate you guys. So try to accommodate everybody if we can, if we can. Michael White's in there. What's going on? Says hello. Mr. Pete Ferrero. What's going on there, brother? Let me see. Tim Hughes has an evil little dude. Elaine Millard, what's happening? Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Elaine. Good to have you in there. Renee V's in there. What's going on, Renee V? Who says copy, paste, share? Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah. William M. Kennedy Jr., happy Christmas and New Year's. Oh, yeah. Alien Tenno's in there. Merry Christmas to all, he says. Oh, yeah. I already said hello to James Dragon, Josh D. What's going on, Mr. Josh D? Steve Ghanem's in there. I know you said you weren't sure if you were busy, so I appreciate you joining me. That's awesome. You said you may be busy. You may not want to. This is the reason why I'm leaving it up to you guys, whether you want to do a longer hang or just do a short one. We can get together just Christmas Eve. It's totally up to you folks. Great for All's on there. What's going on, Mr. Great for All? Mr. Mrs. I'm not sure. Don't kill me on that. Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas, they said. No, I'm afraid not, Dave. David Clark says, you guys solved the alien situation while I've been away? I wish we could say yes, but not the case at all, right? Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? Yeah. John McDonald, what's going on? He said, New Zealand. Just here to wish you and the Suds a happy Xmas or Christmas day here. Saturday, kind of off to Bros for Christmas dinner and daughter's family. God bless you all. Well, God bless you too, man, and I hope you have a great dinner at the families and stay healthy there and safe over the holidays. Of course, it's not just the holidays. I always say that to everybody because I believe everybody should just, just be safe and look out for each other. That's the way we like to do it. Oh, yeah. Tony P's in there. What's going on, Mr. Tony P? Good to have you in there. Good evening. All from London, UK. I got a lot of you folks from across the big pond, don't we? Which is awesome. I think that's great. Oh, this thing. I hate when this thing jumps on me. It's just dirty, rotten son of a... Oh, what? Michael White says, hi from London, Ontario. Got a lot of you Canadian folks up there as well. Good to have everybody in there. Robert Morgan says, Merry Christmas, blessings to all. Santa might be delayed because I had a collision with a UFO. See the meme? That happens, though. You got to be careful. That's what I keep saying. I hope the airbags went off and your seatbelts were on nice and tight. We don't want to see anybody get in a bad accident and make it through that UFO crash. Not good. I don't know why your message was retracted, Mr. Noodles. It was. It says it's weird. You can actually see somebody write something. All of a sudden, as you're looking at it going up, all of a sudden it goes retracted. It just disappears. I don't know why. It's got to be something they're doing to it. Or unless you retracted it yourself. It's up to you. But, I mean, that's just weird how it happened. I'll just see it just... I'm like, what just happened? Cartoon Mark says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you as well, Mark. William Kennedy said yesterday's video was amazing. What you brought out to light was just mind-blowing. And like I said, it's like a Cracker Jacks kind of box. When you open up, you don't know what you're going to get. Of course, they only had limited things, like little toys and stuff they used to put in. Remember the little tiny books? You'd open them up. Pretty cool. For me, it was the same way. I didn't know what to expect because I'm going, I could tell the way that sloping area is. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people might say, well, how do you know that wasn't water that washed over that? Very true. But on the other side of the token, when you look at it, you can see around the rocks the way they fake it out. You can see there's lines and 90-degree angles in this so-called, wash down if that was the case. And you don't see that. And I went, nah, there's something going on here. And you could just tell the way those things are. That last video, it was just cool because that thing on the very right-hand side, like I said, you didn't have to do anything to the photo, people. All you had to do is just go lighten it up. And just, bring up the exposure. You can see, nah. If you're going to be rock that's just, what's the word I want to use? Randomness rock. They're either like extremely pointy, maybe rounded and smooth, and then all of a sudden you get these things that are sticking out that 90-degree angles and straight pieces sticking out one side and the others. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. But the weird thing about it is I still get people saying, well, then that's on Earth. Well, you would hope the scientists for like NASA and ESA or ESA, these other space agencies, and everybody else that wants to go up there and see what's going on, you think they would say, hey, look at that. Kind of like an aerial view of a city, like many of you said, like when we look down and we see these satellite photos and it looks like structures, like foundations on the ground, right off the bat they go, yep, that was ancient building. On Mars, that's your, what do you call it? It's a pareidolia. So it's like, what is going on? So it doesn't count on Mars, just on Earth. Come on. But it's the same thing, right? But if they seen that on Earth, that particular object or objects, right off the bat, hey, wow, that is something. On Mars, it's your pareidolia. It's just swamp gas. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I just find it really interesting how they just blow that stuff off. Mimi said, Merry Christmas, Chris. Merry Christmas to you as well, Mimi. I hope you and the family have a great Christmas. James Cragen, thank you very much. You said, happy Christmas to you all, and you great people. Of course, I already read that, and we're going to jump. This is the reason why I said this thing goes wacky on me every now and then. Let me make sure that's right. Okay, now we're way at the bottom here. And Mr. James Craig, again, thank you very much. You are a great supporter of the channel, like you all are. Before we start, I would, if I may, sorry to you, Chris, on behalf of all of the great people you subscribe to through the year. Thank you for your fantastic hours of brilliant, eye-opening information. I appreciate that, James. That's awesome. I really do appreciate that. And we're just going to roll it on until the next year, unless, of course, the planet stops working and everybody dies tomorrow. We're just going to roll it on, man. We're just going to roll this bad boy on. So, yeah, I mean, it's just cool, you know. Like I said, I think I start off, and you get this. Who just said this not long ago? They said, hey, man, I just got this picture. I put it, and I started analyzing it. Now I got the bug, and, of course, they put LOL. And, yeah, it's just amazing some of the things that some people have said to me, you know, I used to think, this is kind of BS, the same way I started off, saying this can't be. These people are finding some silly stuff on Mars. There's no way. Until I started to look myself, and I went, wow, that's crazy. And then, of course, I went a step further because I could see the lines which were covered up. And that's how I started doing my channel. So, well, long before the channel, but then I started doing it so you folks could see it. And it was just crazy how, wow, you don't think it's real until you literally check it out yourself. And you just go, wow, this is cool. And it's like, here's a perfect example. You guys know that I'm into radio and stuff like that. And, you know, I had a good-sized CB station when before I moved down here, which was before, it was at 2004 when I moved down here. And, you know, like I said, I could pump out 1,000 watts out of my station. And like I said, you don't get hooked on it. When you do DXing, which means you're just talking to another country, another side of your country, or whatever it may be. And my first QSO, which is a conversation, was Fairbanks, Alaska. I got the bug right after that. It's something that you're going, I'd love to be able to do that, but I'm not sure I can do it. Second you do it, boom, done, rock and roll. So it's the same thing with doing these photos. I was like, oh my God, I can't get enough of it now. I just kept doing it. So that's what happens, man. You get the bug. And it's just awesome. Yeah, Mimi, you and me both. He said, Chris, I hope you get disclosure for Christmas, LOL. No doubt. It'd be nice. What's going on, Sean? Good to see you in there. Mr. Pat Owens in the house. What's going on, Pat? Good to see you in there. Let me see. Did he jump in there? I didn't even see him. Let me see. Oh, he did. Mr. Jean Ward's in the house, too. What's going on, Mr. Jean Ward? Yes, and somebody was just saying, I like your renderings. Those are cool. Those are really neat. I like the one, and I don't know if you just did another video, but I like the one where it looked like the TR-3B, that white looked like a wing on the ground. Very well done. I like that. And I like the renderings that you're doing now where it looks like you can show them a little bit better as far as the shape of the object. And it's pretty damn close. I mean, like spot on. So kudos to you for doing that. And if you folks haven't checked out Jean Ward's, go ahead and check him out. He's got some really good stuff he shows on his channel. I would say what, 90% of it, 99%? Is probably satellite views, which does a fantastic job of this. Because some of these things, you just see like he's way out like this, and all of a sudden he goes way in. Look at this object right here, and you're like going, what? I mean, just crazy stuff you find in these photos, and that's just awesome. So, you know, like I said, I do more of the ground stuff, and you're doing the satellite stuff. So combined, people get a different flavor, and they can put the puzzles together and the pieces together for themselves. And, you know, there's no way somebody's going to tell me you got this monolithic boulder, if we want to call it a rock, and then you got these 6 square ones on top of it. That's not natural. It's not going to happen. So it makes you wonder, did they build into rocks? Maybe they had technology to build into rocks? Maybe melt the rock away and build a house inside it? Who knows, right? I don't know. Could very well be. But it's unique to see that kind of thing. Let me jump down here. Kyle Harvey, thank you very much for your support, sir. You said Bob Lazar is telling the truth 100%. The truth is my belief. I do too. I don't see him as a liar. The weird thing, or I should say the good thing about Mr. Bob Lazar is if you notice over the years, he hasn't changed. He hasn't embellished. Think about that a minute. His story's always been consistent, and it doesn't evolve. Like, yes, I was working at Area 51, I was working over at this place, and then, and then as it rolls on, as the years roll on, he's not saying, well, you guys can't believe it, but I was abducted after that, and it doesn't roll on like more and more story. It's his story, and he's sticking to it because I believe he's telling 100% truth. And I know you guys too, because I just seen somebody else comment about Bob Lazar. And then, of course, Kyle just was saying 100% as well. Again, Kyle, thank you very much, sir, for your support, as always. And yeah, I mean, it's just crazy because when I watched his story, and you're talking about, somebody just said about Joe Rogan, it's like when you hear him talk, Bob Lazar, you could just see he's just telling the truth. It's not, you don't see him going, anyway, let me see if I can recollect that. He just, boom, just puts it out there. He gets asked a question, and he just tells it like it is. That's what I love about it. He doesn't need anybody else there. Who's the other banana head that's always there trying to help him out or something like that? Somebody trying to help him out with a story. It's like, you don't need any help. The guy's brilliant on his own. And Jean Ward says, nuts and bolts all over the place. I love Mars. Yeah, I mean, I think the more we see on Mars, if nobody's convinced by now, there's no convincing you. And it's like, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying if you look at the photos, if they haven't convinced you yet, it's crazy. It's just absolutely insane. Scientific search for extraterrestrials. What's going on? Good to see you in there. He said, Chris, that's what I think. Maybe Martians live inside those mountains and rocks. Maybe their homes look like rocks and hills on the outside. And I said the same thing. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're building into these buttes, sides of mountains and stuff like that. That's a very good possibility. Whether they are or not, there's no way of knowing that. It's too bad we couldn't get like a side view of one of these, structures, because we don't know if that's done purposely, maybe because the sun was always stronger on Mars, and maybe the radiation, they didn't have quite the magnetic field Earth has. So they knew at the height of like the afternoon, they had to be inside, or whatever. I mean, think about it. What's going to protect you more? Soil? Rock? Something keep you out of the elements, right? I don't know, but it's crazy. Kyle Harvey said, I think Bob Lazar has worked on back engineering anti-gravity technology, which I think we have in our hiding behind the Iron Curtain. Oh, I guarantee it. Like I said, they've been messing with, like I said, anti-gravitic since the 40s. So it's no wonder that, it wouldn't surprise me if we had something like that. That's why I believe the tic-tac may be ours. Some people have different opinions about that. I know there's a lot of uploaders and people that do stuff live. They say, I don't think it is. I think it's Japan's or China's. I think it's right here on Earth. I don't think it's from out there by a long shot. Now, I'm not saying it's an impossibility. I'm just saying that I don't believe that's the case. I think it's going to be more Earth-based here. Judging by the way technology rolls out, back in the day, you wouldn't even seen this iPhone, 15 years ago. You would have had phones, of course, but not like these. And things have gotten a lot smaller, more high-tech, surface mount components, just all kinds of crazy stuff to make everything shrink down to almost nothing, right? So, yeah. James Gilbert, what's going on? Something big may happen on January 8th or 9th on the watch. Huh. I heard somebody saying something about that too. Somebody saying something big's going to happen next year. Hope it's not one of those kind of negative things, right? The fear-mongering thing. Oh, we're all going to die. It's like, oh, here we go again. It's just absolutely, it's stunning how stupid people can be. Ricardo Petrazi, I didn't even know if I even said hello to you. I think you just snuck right in there. But good to see you in there as well, as always. Oh, you're welcome, John. Brother, you do good work, and I'm not ashamed to just blare it out there. Support any channel that's, either A, supports me, or just does a fantastic job that I'm watching. Either way, it's awesome. Pat Owen, you said Lazar has frequent migraines and has a backup to help in the interview sometimes, at least in the Rogan. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's, in other words, they're not trying to embellish it for him. I don't have a problem. Excuse me, I don't have a problem with that because he's spot on just all by himself, right? To me, he's 100% truthful. I mean, they really tried to erase this guy. Maybe not physically, but took away his Social Security, basically he had no identity at all. They're like, yeah, this is who I am. Who? We don't have no record of you. It's like they totally try to vanish him, right? Insane. Jonathan Waddell, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Mr. Limey Watcher's in here as well. Merry Christmas to you all. Merry Christmas to you as well, Limey Watcher. Jean Ward, you said the Martians would most likely make use of their natural materials to build, especially after catastrophe. Absolutely. It's kind of like when we see some of the structures on the moon. It's kind of like, it looks like some of them are built like into the ground. We can go into or fly into or whatever. It's kind of like they're using it as a camouflage so they can't be noticed by other beings or other people. Imagine way back in the day, had somebody thought about this, I'm talking about ancient people, where they build underground, and yet if people were coming along, they'd never see them. They literally walk right over them, never see them, and then put them now into the future where there's planes and everything else, and they still live underground. You'd never notice them. You just fly right over them. A whole bunch of people. That's why they say like inner Earth. There may be people living there like reptoids and all kinds of other weird things. So I don't know, but it's kind of an interesting thought. But I think you're right. I think they made serious use of either the butte inside of the mountains. It's safe and makes sense. If you have like, maybe they had regular, really nasty storms even prior to Mars catastrophe, and that's just the way they lived all the time. I don't know. It's bizarre, but it's like me, I'm trying to put the pieces together like you're doing, and everybody else is trying to do, and going, okay, this and that and the other, okay, put them together. What the heck do they live in? How do they travel? Well, we're starting to see remnants of this stuff, and that's what's crazy. We wish you could just get, like I said, I'd love to get a real untouched photo. Somebody slips it by me and says, here you go. And just like they put it through an email, and you get it, and you go, that's awesome. And they said, by the way, compare it with this Sol 273 or 293, like I just did that last video, 293. You see the real thing, and then you see what they've done with it. So one, you can show how they manipulate it or how much they manipulate it, and then two, you can see exactly what's really there. That would be interesting, and I'd blurt it all out. I mean, that would be the way it is. And obviously, if the person's, if they're, I'm not going to say their name or any of that sort, and you can't email them back, I'm fine with that, I am fine with that. Rob Simmer, he said, or Simer, would it be Simer? He said, like Asimov's Caves of Steel. I've heard of it, but I can't tell you that I'm 100% knowledgeable about that, so I'm not going to can't really touch on it, but it sounds interesting, though. Kyle, he said, I think that we have structures on the moon and on Mars, and they are probably like rooftop air control units. Well, that could very well be, right? Like either exhausting gases or taking in whatever, like something to cool the area. I mean, think about it. If they have some sort of, let's say they have some kind of, well, almost something equivalent to what we got, like a nuclear power plant or something of that sort, and it just needs to be cooled down. They could literally just take air, go pass it through like what we'd call like a radiator or cooler, go right through it and back out to the surface. Who knows? Or they just use that heat to actually heat up the underground. Who knows? There's a bunch of things we probably probably couldn't even wrap our minds around or fathom any of that, to be truthful with you. We probably wouldn't even know. Ralph Franco, what's going on? Good to see you in there. He said, Chris, hi, Merry Christmas, and I wish your family a safe Christmas from Ralph Franco, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm here for the entire segment. Oh, that's awesome. Ralph, good to see you in there. And Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. That is awesome. Darren Felagon, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hi, everyone. Merry Christmas from Brazil. What's going on? Good to have you in there. Dayron, I think it's called. Actually, Dayron. Good to have you in there. Well, I mean, Tim, you make a great point. You said, you guys. He says, Bob's story doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially in terms of the lab he supposedly worked at. Well, you know, I thought that many a times myself, and I'm going, that doesn't quite make sense. But I wasn't in these labs. I wasn't in these places. Sometimes you're going, sounds a little weak in that part of the story. But then you go, okay. But like when he was talking about certain, chemicals and stuff like that that are now known, and some elements and stuff like that, like I think it was, what was it, 115? Where it was no such thing. Suddenly, years later, it's a thing. So I believe 99% of his stuff is true. Some of it maybe it's still sketchy. Maybe he has, I don't know. Maybe he has a problem remembering some of the stuff, which though I don't believe that, because he seems to have a really good memory about what happened. Now, if you remember, he came out how long ago? So, I mean, I'm trying to think. Maybe you guys can help me out with this now that we're mentioning this. What was the reason why he decided to come out with this to begin with? Think about this a minute. Because I often thought about that. I'm going, but why would you, basically rat out the government unless, of course, they try to off you then and get rid of you thinking that you're going to be some kind of whistleblower? I don't know. I don't remember how it started with his story. But I do know the story itself, I think there's a lot of truth to it. I don't think he's blowing smoke at all. And if it is, let's give him 5% of BS that he's maybe blowing smoke. So I think a lot of it is the real deal. And I believe that, I just believe him. And it's as simple as that. I hate when this thing jumps. I just went to go move down a little bit. I got to try to find one. I just saw somebody's comment. Big Al, what's happening? He said, Merry Christmas, Chris, and everyone. What's going on? Calkin Callie, what's going on? Say, hey, Christmas. Well, not hey, Christmas, but hey, Chris, Merry Christmas. That was a good one. You see the way that worked in? Just flowed it real easy. In case you missed my comment on your 1222 video at 927, there's an overpass with support struts beneath it. In there. Yeah, I did see that, Calkin. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Sometimes it's like I said, you got to, when you go over these, the good thing about you guys is I can go over it and I can look at it and I can enhance it and whatever else, and I can make out a whole bunch of things that I see in these photos. I just try to bring out the biggest ones we can see, because a lot of times, like I said, people are on these little phones and they're going, I don't see that, and they really can't. So I try to go for the biggest things that are most noticeable, right? That doesn't mean I didn't see a lot of these things. I see just about everything that's in these photos, but, some people are not down with a half-hour video. Some people go, hey, man, you can make an hour one. I'm down with it. So I try to make it, to the point where it's 10, 15 minutes. Get in as much as we can. That's why you hear me talking really fast. I probably should go slower, so this way you can turn into a 45-minute video. No, I'm kidding. So the thing is, it's try to do them short. I can get the videos out quicker, because the longer the video, it's longer to, actually, process it and go through it and get out all the mistakes and edit it and blah, 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 blah. So, yes, despite what anybody thinks, I do make a lot of mistakes on these. And especially when you just, because it's not written down, right? You just kind of yeah, so anyway, guys, start the sentence over. But you will stumble on your words, because it's not written down to be able to just go through this. It's not, So it's not a stage play where you could just read off a piece of paper, right? Just doing it on the fly. So you're bound to mess up and make mistakes. Well, that's sweet. What's going on? Good to see you in there. He said, found lava rocks light enough. They float on water. I have seen those myself. I held them. They're really, really, really light. Because they're pretty much porous too, a lot of those, right? And so it's mostly, it just feels like it's air, like you're holding like a little handful of popcorn. It's so light. Mark Daniels says, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you and the family, if you have a family, meaning of your own, and then, of course, your own. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Yeah, Noodles, exactly. Bob Lazar was a sage. It's a good example of being erased, almost. Yeah, I mean, they can make you disappear. But they figure if we should off him, then what's going to happen is they're going to know he was absolutely telling the truth. If they let you go on, kind of like what they do on our videos, they go, why haven't you been shut down yet? Because if you get shut down, then they go, Chris must have been onto something, or this guy must have been onto something where they found this and then they decided to silence him. Simple as that, right? So the same thing with like Bob Lazar, which he was in the spotlight, still is. So instead of offing him, we'll just make him disappear. We'll just make him like he doesn't exist. And, you could really screw a person up for life, literally, because they don't have any life anymore. Z Humble Pie, what's happening? He said, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Good to see you in there. Rob Seimer, you said, there are old ancient paintings with cigar-shaped UFOs. Yes, there are. Even ones that almost look like discs, too, right? Yeah, exactly, Ricardo. Look at Earth Homes, New Mexico. Now imagine them in the norm on Mars. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. G. Sanchez, 05. Merry Christmas from Monterrey, Mexico. Well, Merry Christmas to you as well. Let me watch you. Yes, very much, Chris. It's there, but not. Get what I mean? Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Kyle, you said if you are underground, you are protected from the elements, and you can also have air conditioned unit and heat units on the surface for air quality control. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you can use it as an exchanger, right? Cool air in. That radiator is so hot, or something that is similar to what we have, it blows the air through it. It's actually warm, kind of the same way you do with your car, right? Cold air, it comes in, you got your heater core, it goes through, it converts it to heat, and you get heat in your vehicle. So they can get a lot of cool air right off the surface of the moon, drag it in, cool it down, and either warm up the whole underground, easily done. And they're producing power at the same time. So, or keeping their power station, so to speak, down as far as temperature-wise. Sean, you said Eric Von Daniken was put in prison in his early days. Yes, he was. He was also lambasted by a mainstream scientist. Time has shown he was onto something similar with will become of Bob Lazar. Yeah, yep, it's exactly right too. Especially Eric Von Daniken, he's still in a spotlight where he's done a lot of work and stuff like that. And they said, well, his interpretations are garbage when it came to like the Sumerians and all this other stuff. I don't think it was. They were saying like, oh, no, he was wrong, and I don't know how to break down, cuneiform texts and all these other ancient writings, so I couldn't tell you. So I can't say yay or nay. Maybe he was off on a lot of things. Maybe he was not. I don't believe he was that far off, to be truthful. Les Sweet said, wonder if the military ever had camo uniforms made to blend into Mars or Moon landscapes. Interesting. Why not? They got it for regular camo, right? For being in the jungles and stuff. I don't see why not. See, I don't remember hearing about that, Tim. I just read yours. He said, Tim Hughes said, and didn't he say previous scientists took a chainsaw to the reactor or something? Come on. I don't know. I haven't heard about that. Anybody else have heard about that? I think you are talking about still Bob, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Great question, Mimi. You said, I didn't, oh, you said, that wasn't a question, I'm sorry, it was just a comment. You said, I didn't know that they put Daniken in prison. Yeah, he was in there for a while. This is when he was younger, when he first started this out, when he started out with this and making it like his trek through life, so to speak, about, you know, what these writings meant and everything. All right, Noodles, I guess you got that part of it, what Tim Houston was talking about, because I'm not sure. Maybe it's just I'm reading that wrong and I'm not familiar. Glenn Marsh, what's going on? Good to have you in there. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. He said, Merry Christmas, Chris, and all my Mars Anomalies friends. Great to be here with you all. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, Glenn. Good to have you in there. Well, Tony, you know, he said, when was Daniken in prison? Like I said, he was in there earlier. This was in his, well, I used the term career. And what for? It seemed to me because it was, I don't know if they just felt it was like a blasphemy or some kind of weird thing going on, but they were like, oh, he's like so radical. They thought he was radical, and there's something else he went into prison for. Maybe the other guys will know, because I don't recall, to be truthful with you, but I know they just like, scientists thinking, this guy's, they thought he was off his rocker, and he's not. There's a lot of people that came before and after him could back him up. Of course, there are some people, some scholars, that would say he was completely wrong. But isn't that the norm? It's like somebody's telling the truth, telling the truth, telling the truth, and then kind of like we got these crap uploaders now making Mars videos that are totally like that Daniel guy, Mr. Daniel. Total crap. You know, it's like making a mockery out of people who are doing the right thing. Well, it's the same thing. This guy's telling the truth. Oh, wait a minute. Time to put a stick in the spokes. You know, make the guy look bad, trash his name. He will no longer have any kind of, you won't think he's legit anymore. And that's the whole idea. That's the whole thing. It's like, oh, floating in that balloon, are you? See ya. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. And, you know, if they can totally put your name in mud, that's the whole idea of it. I heard the same thing, Pat. You said Devil's Tower in Wyoming is a petrified stump of a giant tree. I heard the same thing. I'm not sure that's true, though. So in other words, excuse me, 50-50. I don't know. But I've heard that more than once. Adam, you said, I just love it one day when the governments don't F up and we don't have C-19 no matter what strain it is. I agree with you. I think people are they're so over it. I mean, come on. I won't get into that too much, but like I said, when the Omicron came out, I watched the news, and I think I might even mention this last time. I'm watching the news and they're saying, oh, Omicron, now they're going to come out with a vaccine for that, and blah, 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 blah. Not 5 minutes later, in the news report, they're saying, well, we were in touch with the African scientists, and they say that it's very mild. You might get a bad sneeze, a cough, whatever, and then you're pretty much over it. It's very mild, nothing to worry about. Wait a minute. I'm going, so I'm a little confused here. Why are we getting everybody worked up in the United States again or around the world? Why are we doing it again? For what reason? In fact, it's already here in our state, Omicron. You know, there's kids at the school has got it. So they had to cancel some after-school extracurricular and stuff like that. But I'm going, but for what reason? I can understand you not wanting to spread it. I get that. That makes sense to me. But what I don't get is like, okay, but it's not super dangerous. It's going to be like a bad cold that's going around. You'll get over it. Get out with your life. Nope. Let's be Mr. Fauci and just put the fear into everybody. Repression. Keep them down. And that's the name of the game, folks. I'm not saying you should laugh about this, but on the other side of the token, the scientists from where they pretty much originated from or found it to have started there first, they're saying it's not dangerous. It's mild at the very worst. What's the malfunction? Put the fear in them. Keep rolling out the fear. Keep rolling it out. That's what it comes down to. Divide and conquer. Depend on us, people, you little peasants. Depend on the government. We need you. We need to keep you in fear. We'll save you. Don't worry. No. Sorry, I don't believe in all that. Yes, Long Island, New York. I was just going to get on that as well. He said, James Webb is supposed to go up tomorrow if it isn't delayed. I hope it doesn't explode. Yeah, there's so much writing on this project because, like I said in my last live, where they said this thing's going to open up, I think it was like 31 different joints on this thing. It was like it's supposed to all, like it's just supposed to just assemble itself while it's going to its destination 1,000,000 miles away from Earth. So that's going to be insane. But what they're going to find, the way they're talking about this thing and the instruments on board, of course, they do say we're going to be able to see at the very beginning of time. After you know where that is, how do you know? Come on. You know, it's so far out, they're going to probably go, oh, we thought this was the line. Meaning, this is where all the planets exploded to, and this is the edge right here. No. Oh, wait a minute, it's a lot further out than we thought. Yes. It's always been, and it's always going to be. You know, they think that there's like, if you could just like fly at like 100 times the speed of light, you'd be like, you're going to have to put on the brakes. Oh, there's a wall right there. There's the end of the universe. Oh, yeah, there's the planets. They just stopped back behind me. I don't believe that's the case at all, folks. I think this thing is just out there. Picture that. I've done that before. And I sat there, and I think I told you guys this. If you were to get up in your house, walk outside, whatever it may be, just walk a straight line. Walk a straight line. You're guaranteed to walk into something. We all know that. Now picture being like Superman flying out in space. There is no end. Now, when you close your eyes and think of that, you're out there flying, there's no end. It doesn't stop. How do you wrap your mind around that? It's not going to go spoom and hit a wall. So what's out there? And I don't believe they're ever going to find the end. I think they're going to find that who knows, there's not a universe next to a universe next to a universe. How do we know? I can't wait. I hope that thing works 100%. And I think that's why that thing was delayed. They probably said, you know what? We only got one chance at this. Let's make it right. Well, then we need to go back on this component. Because I think we found a better way to build that. Because I think this is kind of, this pot here is kind of janky and I don't think it's going to work right. So what they do is they probably went back, tore it apart, and this is the reason for the delay. It's been, X amount of years. What's it been, almost 20 years, guys? They've been messing with this thing? How long has it been? It's quite a while. So now they want to make sure that this is one time. It's not like the Hubble where they could fly up to it. Remember when they had to, update the motherboard or CPU or whatever it was? They had to, and some of the optics or something, they had to, freshen the Hubble up. They can't do that with this. Once it goes out there, if it doesn't work right, doesn't open as it's supposed to, it's junk. How much money and time has been spent to that thing? But I promise you, they're going to see some crazy things with that. Now, of course, I won't tell anybody anything, but you get the idea. Let me watch, you said, definitely living just under the surface. I think so, too. I'm going to jump all the way down to the bottom here, folks. Just so... Exactly, Ricardo. He said infinity. Yep. Doug Parker said, Chris, have you checked out Out of Australia Theory by Stephen Evan Strong? Merry Christmas and joyous and Happy New Year. Same to you, Doug. I appreciate that. I was going to say Adam because I just seen Adam up there earlier. But yeah, no, I don't think I have. Have you checked on it? Out of Australia Theory? No, I don't think so, unless it's called something else. What did it consist of? Yeah, it's exactly what I was saying, Ricardo. Infinity. You yourself, do you believe that either there's the end of the universe, or do you believe they're gonna, if you could fly, like I said, 100 times the speed of light, or 1,000 times the speed of light, and get right out there to the edge? Do you think there's gonna be an edge of planets where you're gonna go, okay, they're thinner and thinner, and then there's none, and all there is a blackness of space, or do you think it continues on? I don't think we can answer that with anything certainty to begin with. And I don't think humankind can. I don't care if you're an astrophysicist, I don't care what you are. They're going by what they see at this moment. So I believe the science. I believe it's 100%. But again, they're always learning, right? It's always evolving. That's what's good about science. They can say, okay, remember back in the day when it was this? Well, that's no longer true because of new science findings and peer reviewed. This is what we come up with. So it's what I love about science. It's ever changing. But, I don't think they know what's really out there. Again, it's like they think they're just going to find, okay, there's the last planet. Okay, it stops. Now, I think the vastness of space or the black void is still there. It's not going to stop that. I think it's just endless. Truthfully, I think it's just endless. I don't think they're going to find the end at all. And that's going to be even weirder. That's going to be like, again, picture yourself being out there. There's no end to this. If you could fly it, there's no end. And we're used to limitations, walls and tables, and we're used to limitations. All of a sudden, none at all. That's freaky. Samantha Morris, Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Good to see you in there. Keep safe. Thank you for all your videos this year. Well, I appreciate you guys watching them. Like I said, if it wasn't for you folks, my channel wouldn't be here anyway. So kudos to all of you for helping me out, going through these photos, watching them, supporting the channel. It's just awesome. You know, I can't say it enough. There's sometimes you can't put it into words. It's just like, you know, I just have much love for every one of you guys out there. And it's been a wild ride, some of the things we found. Of course, everything that's been going on the last couple of years with the C-19, we're going to use the term, and all of the BS involved, and a wonderful leader here in the United States. Yeah, just the list goes on. But it's fun. We can push that aside. But, yeah, I mean, it's been great. It's been just some of the stuff that we've uncovered, found together, because sometimes I'll make a video, and you guys will say, Chris, what about this, that, and the other? And I'm like, wow, you know. So you guys are doing the work as well, and that's what makes it fantastic. That's what makes it awesome, because it's not just me showing what I found, but people are actually joining in and saying, listen, I've found this too. You ought to check this out. I can't tell you how many emails I get. It's crazy. So what I'll try to do is either answer these people, or I'll actually take your work and put it onto a channel, which I'm going to start doing again, because it's been a while since I've done that. So we're going to try to do that as well. And some of you guys are just dropping emails just to say, hey, Chris, this is what I found. I enhanced it myself. What do you think? And I was like, man, that's awesome. You know what I mean? That's, you know, good eye on that or whatever. Yeah, it's been a wild ride this last couple of years, actually, right? So, but the continuing support for this channel has been overwhelming. I can't tell you, you know, when I get off this thing, I tell my wife, oh my God, these people here, awesome, awesome bunch of people. You know, you wish you can get into like a room, just like I said, a giant table, just everybody sit there and shoot the breeze and talking about this and talking about that. And it's just like, you could be there for days, let alone just freaking, because there's so many of us, right? You can literally be there for days upon days, just talking about this, that, and the other. It's just awesome. I mean, it's like the highlight of the week. That's what I love about it. Of course, making the videos is cool because I get to share this stuff with you. But yeah, this is cool too. This is awesome. Miss Heard, what's going on? Good to see you in there. He said, I did remember to smash that button. Hit that thumbs up, folks. Hit the like button. Always appreciated. Sky Blue, he said, a guest on Petrov's channel says it's difficult to explain, but Earth is where the Big Bang started. But so it is everywhere else in the universe. Yeah, I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me at all. So that would basically mean that we are the center of the universe? I don't think so. I don't believe that not at all. Not at all. I mean, they could tell by the red drift, right? Like I said, we talked about this before, where they could see the planets actually going outward in outward motion. So they could see it's expanding. I don't think Earth was it. And let's say, hypothetically, it was. Then we are truly the youngest people on the block, or youngest species on the block. So if we were to go out so many billions upon billions of light years out there, you can imagine the civilizations that are out there. We're just basically amoebas compared to what they are right now. So if that's true, which I highly doubt that it is, that, wow, that's insane. To actually try to picture like civilizations way out there on the outer edge of the universe, or the planets rather, into the universe. That would be crazy, right? Miles Moon bases. Let's go, Brandon. I don't know how many times I've seen that saying lately. It's funny. William John, you said, thanks, Chris. It's been great for us, too, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess it works both ways, right? You know, we both get something out of it. I get the idea that, like I said, when I do these and I hear people saying, I've taken this into Photoshop myself, I've seen this myself, then that's my payoff. It's just awesome. because, like I said, other people are doing this too. It's like, and Jean Ward will agree with this, and if Jimmy was out there, the real Jimmy Roberts right now, they'd all be saying, listen, at some point, somebody else is going to pick up the torch and run with it. We're not going to be here forever. So it's time for people to start waking up to this too. So it's not about saying, hey, let me just show people a couple of videos and that's pretty much it. No, it's a learning process, and maybe a lot of you folks get into it, and maybe your kids follow suit. Maybe they become better than us. And look this, and because of the technology, they can really rip these things apart as it goes on. You know what I mean? So I think the payoff for anybody is that people are learning from it. Like again, Jean, myself, and a lot of other people, their payoff is they're going, wow, people are literally responding to this. There's a lot of people like myself. There's a lot of people checking these things out and, like I said, throwing it into Photoshop or whatever manipulating software you have to expose this stuff yourself. That to me is awesome. You know, that's just great. Donald D. Geisler, he said, look at the interdimensional aspect of at least 6 or as many 8 dimensions of duplications of universes. The concept of infinity times 6 or 8. Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really know. Again, the best hypothesis is what we have now. But that'll change. New technology, new tools to look out there. I think the James Webb, provided it works great, and I've got my fingers crossed, is that there's got to be some crazy discoveries they're going to make. And they did say, believe it or not, they're going to point it at Mars. But yet the Hubble, they said they couldn't do that because it was just too close. Like the moon. Oh, that's way too close. Now, all of a sudden, that may be okay. So they're saying they're going to look at the chemical composition of Mars. I'm going, wait a minute, didn't they already do that? With all the MAVEN and the MRO and these other spacecraft that ESA's put up there, and, you know, Russia's now, all of these, they haven't figured this out yet? But I think what they're trying to do is go back in time, where they're trying to see if they can study it for a little bit. They can see how it changes, and maybe they can extrapolate, you know, and figure this. I don't know. Me, I don't think that's what they're really trying to do, but I could be wrong. We don't really know, folks, what's really on this, you know, James Webb. We don't know what real instruments are on here, so who knows? Maybe it's got like a SETI receiver on it too, and it can just like receive signals from way out there, not just a, you know, looking for chemical compositions, what make up different planets, and, you know, whatever it may be, you know, different wavelengths and all this other stuff. It may not just be that. We don't know. It's got a good sized dish on it. I forget exactly how big this was, but yeah. Zula Vivon, you said, when you have been analyzing the lunar images, aerial view taken by a lunar orbiter, have you noticed how they tried to camouflage objects and make it appear as landscape? Crafts equals hills. Absolutely. I've seen that on the ground with the Apollo missions. I've seen what look like machine parts and what look like crafts and just crazy things. But yeah, they do a great job of trying to either, you know, sanitize it, white it over, overexpose. You know, everything's so bright white all of a sudden, and the rest of the areas are not. Oh yeah, all kinds of crazy tactics they do in these photos. Absolutely. Totally agree. We Are Sovereign says, you're doing a great job. Well, I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Mike Nabby said, hope you are all have a good time. Peace and love to you all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Cheers for what you do, Chris. Well, I appreciate it there. Mike? This thing just rolled on me. Hold on. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. I do. You taking off? You just hanging, or it's just a comment, or you taking off? But yeah, I hope you have a great Christmas and a good New Year's. I guess we'll be seeing each other. What? It would be in the New Year's after that, wouldn't it? For the next Hangout. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna roll on, folks. We're gonna keep rolling on. It's and I like what I do. It's something I like what I do. It's just like, because I'm just like you folks. I don't know what I'm going to find in here. That's what makes it interesting and keeps you going. Now, picture as a kid when you get, like I said, those Cracker Jack boxes or these whether it be cereals. Remember you used to get little toys and stuff like that? Imagine something different all the time, every time you bought a box. It wasn't, oh, I already have this. Just imagine every single time, the excitement. You just don't know what you're going to find. That's what I get out of these photos. It's cool. Flowers 1948, you said, I've been reading a modern day translation of the Kabbalah, and these centuries old writings describe what is called today the Big Bang. Oh, yeah. Miss Harriet, you said, Chris always has some awesome reveals and hangouts. I appreciate that, Miss Harriet. I don't know about awesome. I try to, I'm just hanging out with you guys, just shooting the breeze with you, right? Like I said, I think it's just awesome. And like I said, you can't go wrong with, like-minded people. You try to do that in your normal, everyday friends and family. They're going, okay. Anyway, what's on reality TV again? It's like talking to this cop. Hi, Subway. Think about it. It's like you can always tell when somebody's interested, right? Because you're sitting there talking, and first they're going, yeah. All of a sudden their eyes glaze over, and they're going, like, they're just totally not even interested. Like, my wife backs me in everything I do on these. She's not truly interested. Although, if she probably sat here with me and just watched and seen some of the things that I find, she'd probably go, wow, this is neat. But she's got her own thing, just like everybody else that you folks probably know. They've got their own thing, like whether it's reality shows or they just don't have time. Whatever the reason, they just don't have an interest. And that's sad. It really is. Because I don't know about you folks. When I look out there, I go, wow, I just want to see this. I want to know, because I know I'm part of something much larger, right? And that's the whole thing. Oh, Ricardo Petrazzi, thank you very much, sir, for your support. I do appreciate you. He said, it's been a real delight to be a sub to your channel and hang out with the amazing bunch of like-minded folks for the last 2 years. You are all hugely appreciated and wonderful people. Merry Christmas and long live Mars Anomalies and beyond. Well, Ricardo, like I said, it all starts with you folks, too. So give yourself a pat on the back. If I could shake your hand, I would. Because, like I said, you don't know how it is. I mean, some people are just frustrated. I've heard people tell me this. I'm just so glad I found your channel because, I always felt this inside, whether they're in the chat, whether they're just looking at the photos. I've seen this myself. In fact, somebody just said this recently. Said something about, I don't recall now if it was Mars or the moon, but they said, I've been saying this for the longest time. I just found your channel, and I'll be darned if it wasn't the same thing I've been thinking for years. So again, like-minded, they're researching, they find other people. It's kind of like if you go to a drag strip. Not everybody loves drag cars. Not everybody's into that. But the people who are, you can spark up a conversation all day long. Hey, what about that 3/4 cam? He's running that 454 and that Chevy Vega, blah, 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 blah. And you guys can go at it for hours. It's the same thing here. So like I said, give yourself a pat on the back because, you guys are awesome. And I've said that. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's like I never thought I'd be doing these where I'd be talking to a bunch of you folks like this. I'm going, I would have never thought in a million years, man. And it's like, it's just awesome. It's awesome. So again, a big thank you to you for your endless support. You guys are awesome. And like I said, Ricardo. And the channel's not awesome unless it's a bunch of awesome people. That's the way I look at it. Because it's just not me. I don't make the whole channel. I may put out the content, but it's the way you're receiving it. It's the way you're going with it. So, and like I said, you guys have done your own, research as well. And that's what makes it interesting. That's what's awesome. That's what's a payoff. Sean, thank you very much, too, for your support. I do appreciate you. He said, have a beer on me, Chris. Thanks for making my 2021 more enjoyable. Great stuff, man. Well, I do appreciate it again. And here's the thing, too. I agree with you guys. Remember back in the day when we were really thick into this COVID BS? And, I don't call it BS like it's fake, because obviously I had it, too. But as far as, like, everybody was, like, so entranced in all of this, and a lot of you folks said the same thing. Said, man, I'm so glad that we have this hangout to And get away from the BS we're hearing on the news all the time. And I totally agree with you guys. I would actually do that too. I'd delve into this because I just didn't want to hear it. I don't. It's such crap. But you also have to be aware and abreast of what things are going on around you as well. So you go, but I try not to watch the news. I've told you guys that. I'll watch it occasionally. Don't get me wrong. But I'd rather not. I'd rather just go, let me flip through some movies and watch a movie. You know what I mean? I'd rather not be bothered. People go, well, then you're oblivious and you don't know what's going on around you. Yeah, I do catch enough of it to know. I don't need to be entrenched in it all the time, 24/7, to know what's going on. Because at some point you want to yak. It's just too much BS, Miss Here, you said, 454. Wow, that takes me back, Chris. Yeah, my brother had a Monte Carlo. He actually had two of them. He had a 70 Monte Carlo and a 72. I believe the 70 had a pretty good, it was pretty built 350. And he used to drag it down in Myrtle Beach, and then he got the that's what reminded me because he had gotten the 454 out of this Chevy Vega, and of course had a 3/4 cam. It was just way too radical because he wanted to have it for the streets as well as on the strip. So he had the combination of both worlds. 500 horse, just about it was a little over 500 foot-pounds of torque. For something as large as it was, it'd get it. It'd run, and that's without anything else. No bottle. Not running on anything else, no superchargers, none of that junk. Raw horsepower, that's it. And just fun to be able to go down the track with that thing. I'll tell you what, when you're running down the track with that bad boy, it's your adrenaline just rushes. What's going on here, Mr. J. McGuffey? You said not one Polaroid with all of these probes and rovers, they're full of bull plop. I like that. I never heard that. Well, I mean, nothing of any quality, right? And again, I think they're 100%. In fact, I read this. There was, and I wish I would have kept it on the Ingenuity helicopter. They were talking about a photo. Here's what's really odd. They showed. Remember, I told you the way they explained it was just a camera going facing down on the ground. Well, they actually showed like a side view of this, off the side of this thing. Now I went, wait a minute. I thought it had just one camera. And it said 4K quality. 4K quality. So was not the rovers actually, you could bet the Perseverance is. So you could bet they've got 4K, even if it's 10K on the other cameras, meaning not the main, not the Z cam or the other cams. But all the other ones are probably maybe 1080, but 4K? Wow. So as well as I do crystal clear photos, and what we get is basically trash. In a nutshell, right? You're absolutely right, Jay. We get a bunch of crap. But they did actually say a 4K photo. I'm going, what are you kidding me? And of course, we already knew that, right? We knew that they had good cameras on these things. Yet, we can't seem to get a good picture. It looks like somebody took it with a potato. Not sure what happened there, but okay. Not that it matters. I just showed, what do you call it? Oh, motion alert in the yard. What do you think, guys? Get out the gun or just... Oh, it's another vehicle. Okay. Let me just see here. That's funny. It says mine camera will say animal in the driveway. I'm going, animal? What the hell are we seeing here? That'd be a cat walking around, just a stray cat. Yeah, it's just a car just passing by. It's just awesome. You taking off, Miss Aird? You said, have a very Merry Christmas and a very blessed Happy New Year to you all. If you are taking off, thank you. And you do the same, Miss Aird. Glad to have you on board, as always. You've been with me for quite a while. You were with other channels, which basically crapped on everybody. I've been following that saga, by the way. And I think that's sad. Even to this day, people who are closest to some of these uploaders, crap right on them. Sad. But you've been with me for a while, and I do appreciate you. I really do. Ricardo, shoot it. I don't want to shoot another neighbor. That wouldn't be good. I swear, officer, it was a mistake. It was an accident. Sure it was. 5 times? Oops. Let me see. I think it might have jumped over there, Zulu. Let me see. All right. Zulu, you said, what keeps all governments and countries silent about what they see in the moon and Mars? How can every space organization send to the moon? Is there a Men in Black organization, all government country fair? No, I think what it is, I've said this before, I think what it is you've got your regular PR sections of every space, whether it's ESA, NASA, and all these other 3 and 4 letter, space agencies. I think what it is, again, you got the PR side, which means people are doing the proper jobs. They go in there, do the everyday job, and they're doing it for the public as well as, of course, NASA or ESA or whatever. Then you have the elites on the very up side of that, where there's like a 2-tier kind of space agency, where the elites are doing the real work. Like when they had the moon, when they went to the moon, they said, well, Kubrick did those videos, and they might have, but that's not because it doesn't mean it was fake. It just means they made up this little story to make it look like, oh yeah, we're using golf clubs on the moon, and we're having a jolly old time. In the meantime, that was the fake video. The real stuff was going on behind the scenes. Why I say that? Judging on what we found in these photos. Now, real deal, even if they, if it was Kubrick that done these, I don't give a rat's backside, to be truthful with you. What I care about is what's really there. And I believe if he did do that, it was to try to put on a show for the people. See, they did go. Look at this. And like I said, I remember reading a magazine, a 2020 magazine, years ago, and where they showed like a steel girder and one of these photos of the moon. So they go, see, it was fake, it was fake. Okay, maybe it was what they were showing the people, but that's not what they were up there for. All that rock and dust BS, that's exactly what it was. It's a PR move to satisfy us. We were giving, remember back then the governments were actually, well, I shouldn't say the governments, they're stealing now. But I mean, as far as back then, they actually banked on the public giving them money, funding them. And of course, they get it from the government too. Now they just steal it. And that's why you get a deficit the size of Godzilla. I don't know where that 8.5 trillion went. John, you know where it went? I don't know where it went. Candy store. Oh, that's what it was. I mean, think about this a minute. It's, they just take the money now. But I believe that there's 2 tier to that. And there's the regular, everyday people working for NASA. Then there's the elite side. And they're the ones that's doing the real work, finding out what's out there. And that's based on what I've found on the photos of both, Mars and the moon. So, some people say, hey, how do you know that's just not Earth? Listen, I'm not here to jam it down anybody's throat. I said this a million times. You believe what you want to believe, and I can't change your mind. It's, it's as simple as that. James, thank you again for your support as always. He said, Ricardo Petrozzi is right. Plus, don't forget, you kept us all sane throughout the mad 2 years we just had. So thank you for your time and effort, man. Well, again, it was kind of the same way, right? Because I was able to make these, meaning have these hangouts, it was just as good for me as it was for you. Everybody have a cigarette. Oh yeah, it's good shit. Oh, anyway, so it was just, it was beneficial to me as well, right? Because I could escape that and go into this and go, and not have to worry about it. It was just like, it was nice to be able to just talk with you folks and get away from that BS for the 3-4 hours it would be on, right? Because sometimes it's 4 hours. But yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. All right, Miss Head, you are taking off. He said, bye, much love to you all. All right. Have yourself a good one. Have a good weekend. Good Christmas. Be safe. Kyle Harvey said, COVID-19 was created to put fear into people because when you have fear, you have control. Yep. Jay McGuffey says, Sasquatches or? I don't know if I believe in Sasquatches now or a Bigfoot. I'm not saying that they don't exist. What I think it might have been is maybe an offshoot of what humans would have became. Is it possible it's some kind of genetic kind of mess up? Or there was a bunch of these running around at one time. Who knows? It's hard to tell. I've never personally seen one, though I know people who have researched them. In fact, Jimmy had a guy that was on was talking about either a Bigfoot or Sasquatch. I'm not so sure I believe those because it's kind of like UFOs. You ever notice that? Every one of those is like, it's like a motion blur or it's like behind a million trees. You never see it. Have you guys ever seen one that was in front of a, like a hunting cam? You know, where you see like out in the distance, you know, or they got this thing, you know, strapped to a tree and you literally see a Bigfoot walking by. And if it was, how do we know it's even real? That's something that's weird. It's kind of like a UFO. You never see a, you know, a clear photo of any of these things, especially from the Pentagon videos, right? I don't know. Steve Garnham, it's your mistress arriving, Chris. Shh, don't tell anybody. Shh. Listen, I already got a work wife, so shh. Is she here yet? Oh, sorry, honey. What? No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, it's like, okay, guys, she is here. I got to leave. Oh, that's not good. Oh, honey, put that gun down. I was just kidding. No. Donald Giesler, he said, oh, Geisler, am I pronouncing that correctly? The government controls all aspects of data collected. Money talks, and the government push the BS to keep you in the dark. Knowledge is power. Keep the people ignorant to manipulate them for the elites, or for elites. Yep, couldn't have said any better. Yep. Sean, Bob Lazar's in your garden. Is he really? Man, I'd like to have a good talk with him. That'd be awesome. I'm going to jump way down to the bottom here, so if I missed anybody's comments or any of that sort, please do say it again. I don't want to leave people hanging too long here. Jay McGuffey said, in the sacred mammoths, those I believe are real. They found those in ice. So I believe those to be real. I also believe that, you know, more modern man ran along with dinosaurs. You know, if you go back to the ancient ruins in Cambodia, Angkor Wat, and places like that, they actually have carvings of like a stegosaurus. Right in. How do they know what a stegosaurus looked like? You know, unless it was passed down, the picture was passed down. But they had a carving there. Now, is it possible that's BS? Sure. Because we don't know for sure, right? But to me, and it wasn't just cavemen running around trying to kill these things off. I think it was more modern men. And I don't mean people like, you know, maybe 100 years ago, common sense, right? I mean, just after the cavemen and more civilized man? Yeah. Or, again, the photo was handed down. Oh, Metalhead, what's going on? I don't know if I even seen you in there earlier. Kyle Harvey, again, thank you. Do appreciate you, brother. He said, fair is control. And I hate to see it. I'm probably going to get beat up for this, but so wasn't religion. Oop, I mean, and I'm not trying to make fun. I've always told you my stance on religion. I'm more spiritual than religious. That doesn't mean I believe religious is all crap. I believe a lot of it was history, but that was pretty much it. But that's the same thing, right? It's like, you know, be good or else, you know, and you'll be rewarded. Or if you don't, not good. It's basically to keep control. That's what it comes down to. James Cragen, again, thank you, sir, for your support. Always appreciate it. So, Chris, before I forget, what about Saturn ring video? Chris, I swear, in my opinion anyway, they look like square-shaped structures to me, man. When I looked at those, I'm saying, somebody was talking about a ringed world. Remember, you've seen, like, in these old movies and stuff like that, where it's basically a ring. And we're going to have, like, and you look inside the ring, it's not like a, it's like an inner tire where it has grass and structures and everything else, and it's a rotating space station, but it looks like Earth inside it. Is it possible it's like that only in the ring around Saturn? People go, well, that's kind of weird. How can you possibly put structures on these boulders and stuff like that? They say it's, you know, space ice and dust and rocks and what was left of moons or maybe smaller planets that got ripped to pieces. Okay, we'll go with that. If that's true, then that's true. But how is it possible, then if that's the case, then how is this stuff building up like a wall, if you want to call it just a wall, how is it building up on these? That simply doesn't make sense. And when you look at that photo, bring down all the brightness, it looks like structures in this whole section of area. Maybe that's what he's talking about as far as the ring makers. Mr. Berggren, was I pronouncing that right? Berggren? Was he correct on that? And it wasn't so much the actual ring, but what they were building on the rings. I didn't read his book. Maybe if you guys have, maybe you can shed a little light on that. Oh, okay, there's a question. Metalhead, you said, Chris, do you know what the scale is to our last video? You're talking about the Martian one, I assume. So, again, I said that you got at the end of the turret, we got that tool arm, right? And I've said this in the video. I don't believe, I'm going to be truthful with you, I don't believe that stuff was more than 10 feet or 3 meters. Because it's so close, and keep in mind, your body is much larger than that tool head at the end of that turret arm. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's probably like this freaking big, but still, if you're standing next to it, it'd probably come up to you, or if it was sitting on the ground, and the tool head was sitting on the ground, it might come up to what? Your knee? Maybe halfway up your quad muscle, halfway up your leg? I don't know. It's around that size, so it's not that far away. It really is not. And let's say I'm totally off the beaten path here. Let's say it's 30 feet away. Okay, it's still not very big. I don't give it much more than that. I think it's like 10 feet away. So these things are very small. That's why I'm saying it's just weird, the stuff that we're seeing on Mars. And then some stuff, you can see it looks pretty large. But then again, they make them look like buttes, and some of the things are not buttes. It's like, there's like a lot of small things built into the buttes. So you go, So were these people who live there, were they actually small people? I don't know. There's no way to know that. Claudia with a chance of UFOs, what's going on? Good to have you in there. Goat Squeezer, you said they got rid of all of the 12-foot to 15-foot tall giant remains in North America in the 19th century. They had double row of teeth. That closest thing. Oh, it's the closest thing to a Bigfoot. And that could be. So what do you think it is, though? Do you think it's some kind of offshoot of something human? Which it seems to me more like that than anything else. And they make it sound like it's some kind of, well, I guess it would be rare. So I guess, yeah, that makes sense. But it's like this mystical creature. It's like, really not. Is it a rarity? Sure. I don't know if I believe all that, though, as far as, the way they make them out to be, right? I believe that they're real. I've never seen one, but I believe that they're real, but not on the scale. Some of them say, well, I've said this before, and I know you guys have seen this. Ancient aliens. Was Sasquatch or Bigfoot's actually aliens? I went, okay, I'm done watching this show. I'm done. I'm all set. Come on. It's like running out of material, are we, people? I mean, come on. I thought that was absolute BS. Oh, Samantha Morris, thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate you. He says, Santa left this under the tree for you. Merry Christmas. Well, I appreciate him, and I appreciate you. I hope you have a good Christmas and Merry Christmas with you and your family as well. And again, I do appreciate you all, man. I really do. Donald D., you said, just think of the universal arc of DNA of all life that existed is now being created, to future new versions being introduced at a specific time in the timeline. That's true. Yeah. And how we're making things change too, right? Because we are, well, I don't know if I want to use the term we're playing God, right? But we are in a way doing that, where you can actually, if you want artificial insemination, we can, what do you need? You need something blonde hair, blue eyes? We can take care of that for you. We got you. So, yeah, we can take care of that for you, don't worry. And so, I mean, in a sense, we're playing God, right? So if we alter ourselves, how much are we going to change in the near future? I mean, it could be a couple 100 years, 1,000 years, and we're going to be, first of all, I think we'll be like flying around the whole solar system at that point. Because think about it, I think they'll find a way, well, we pretty much know they already have moon bases. But I mean, as far as we'll have a civilization on Mars, which I believe we actually may have one there as well right now, can't vet that. But the moon is too close not to have it. And I believe, like I said before, and I know a lot of you folks agree, that they never stopped going after the Apollo mission. So at some point, even if we build it on other planets where we go, can't live there, it's too cold. It doesn't matter. We don't need to be on that planet to stay warm. Again, live inside a structure, stay safe, and your own environment. So it makes sense. Rick Graham, what's going on? Thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate you. Get up. That's cool. Little hippo. You guys are awesome. I don't know what to say other than that. Just under that was, let me watch. You said they're going to be small and large. Who else would it be? Comparing with many photos and different types. Yeah, we just see things that are very similar to what we have here on Earth, whether it be mechanical parts or some things that look like some kind of weird vehicle or transportation, and but they're very small. They don't appear very big. So what could it possibly be? And if it is something like some kind of weird transportation thing, how big would these people have to be? I mean, let's say the thing's only like this big. It's only like 3 feet in length or 5 feet in length. How big do these people have to be? How big are they? I don't know. Now, they do mess with us as far as they don't show any scaling in there. And it's frustrating. I know many people have said the same thing. Said, well, Chris, can you tell me the scaling of this? I don't know. At one time, I remember starting off, they would have scaling on these photos. In fact, they'd have them on, I'm trying to remember where that was. It was actually a small panorama that they had made. And they had the scaling, would be like 50 meters equals whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you would be able to tell, okay, that's that part. They just stopped doing it. Why? Because it's a perfect way to mess with your eyeballs. If I put this huge mountain there, you're thinking in your head, my perception is that's a mountain. It's as simple as that. Or is it? Because you don't see the rover there, you automatically assume, oh, it's got to be huge. It's got to be miles upon miles away. And that's not true at all. Especially when you get into these things, and all of a sudden you find like these little pieces all in, and you go, well, that looks like something that you could handle yourself. That mountain's not that far, and not only that, it's not a mountain. Or it's built into a mountain. Whichever, right? I don't know. Zulu Vaughn, he said, have you thought about going on Joe Rogan podcast? I'd love to. I like Joe. I watch him a lot. Joe is awesome. Enrico Viglione said, got here as fast as I could. Well, glad you made it, man. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, sadly, Mimi, I think you're right. He said, we will still fight each other. And like I said, sadly, I think you're absolutely correct. Yeah. And there she is. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope launch. Live updates. Supposed to be tomorrow. Well, of course, unless you're already into tomorrow. But Eastern time is saying 7:20 a.m. They're showing here, they're showing the James Webb. Trying to remember, is this on? Okay. Let me see here. Do I still have that turned up here? I think I do. Let me see. I love it when it does that. But it's supposed to be 7:20 a.m. Eastern time, so in 12:20 GMT. So, let me see here. This is cool. Whomp. Love the way they do that. It's like, okay, abrupt. But yeah, this thing should snap back in there. Let's see what happens. As I got my blocker on, it tends to do that to it. I got two mice here, two Mises. Let's see. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Black Vault, the actual site, but you can see right here they're talking about unidentified aerial phenomenon or UAPs. I'm still going to call them UFOs. They can call it Humpty Dumpty for all I give a darn. but Department of the Navy, this is what I find really mind-boggling. I'm going Navy, water, Navy, water. So are they automatically assuming that a lot of this stuff is actually coming out of the oceans and not anywhere else? Think about that a minute. But they've got this write-up in here. So they applied, it says, you can see right here, Mr. John Greenwald, the Black Vault. And it says, and it's saying, Mr. Greenwald, this is our response to your Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, referral from the OSD JS FOIA office. Your original request was dated February 1st, 2021, and forwarded to our office on October 25th, 2021, under referral number 21-F-0511. Upon receipt, your request was inputted into FOIA online and assigned FOA case tracking number, and of course they give you the tracking number. But what it says is, yeah, you know, how does he put it here? Looking referred to, okay. In the effort to assist you, we consulted with the Deputy Chief of Naval, not Nasal, well, I guess Nasal too, you can go with that too. Naval Operations for Information and Dominance, DN, or DCN rather, O, and N2//N6 to conduct a search and locate any records responsive to your request. And it says right here, it says N2, N6, I want to keep saying S, I don't know why, informed this office that they have located one record totaling 10 pages. Upon review of this record, it has been determined that some portions are denied under FOIA. Imagine that. And of course, they give you this stupid number here, and the USC 552B1, whatever. In accordance to Executive Order 13526, Section 1.4, Part C, as it pertains to intelligence activities, including covert action, intelligence sources of methods, or cryptology. So yeah, we understand that you need this information through FOIA, but we're not going to give it to you. So when you actually go down here, and they say, by the way, the names have been blacked out, but get this, and I know you guys won't be surprised. Watch this. Oh, look at that. Prepared by, of course, names are taken out, and then some are still there. Has like the name's gone, but the actual address is still there. But check this out. Let's keep going down here. I think they had some more taken out. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, by the way, we'll give you the document. Don't worry about that. We never said we couldn't, you know, edit it and take all the stuff out we don't want you to see. We'll give it to you, but that's what you get. It's like, well, you know, it's like, listen, they're not willing to divulge this information, but I'll tell you what, if you're not familiar with this, the Black Vault site's got a lot of cool stuff, and you guys should check it out. As always, I'll leave the link. Anytime we use a tab in here or whatever, I always drop the link. I love this. This is cool. Yes, now the metaverse makes sense. Scientists invent lickable TV screen that can imitate flavors. I love this guy, what he says. VR porn just got lit. I'm going, oh my God. These people come out with anything. Oh my God. But, so if they had a chocolate bar in there, you should be able to lick your own screen and taste it. What are we doing here? What is wrong with humans? Have we lost our minds? Wow. I'm going to go all the way down the bottom here because John Ward taking off. Say good night, everybody. It's it's already 12:30 your time. Okay, here in South Africa now. Well, have yourself a good one, Jean. I keep saying we're going to get you. We're going to get you on for the New Year's. What do you think? Maybe we'll have you on the next Hangout if you're available. But yeah, it's always a pleasure having you in here, man, and keep up the good work. You know, I like what you started doing there with having these 3D kind of layouts where you can actually show it a little bit better, not just so much a photo. So it's really good job doing that. And I really like that one. Like I said, it looked like the TR3B. Really cool. So again, keep up the good work and have a good Christmas. Let me see. But yeah, I thought this was pretty funny. A device called Taste Taste to TV, so it's TTTV, uses a carousel of canvases to spray flavor onto the screen, allowing users to try a variety of foods with just a lick. This goes under like reality show status. It's just mindless BS. What would be the point? And you're going to tell me they're going to have that many these flavor things to make the flavors? What? Stop. And does anybody else think that's just incredibly mental? Or is it just me? Yeah, Mimi, yeah. It's like, look at It says global news, so this is a thing. Yeah, people are idiots. Look at this. Well, I'm just going to show it to you. By the way, you know, see? Thank you. Let me see here. Let's turn this up. How do you not laugh at this and cringe at the same time? Let me see.
A prototype lickable TV in Japan could lead to people being able to taste what they see on TV. University professor Home Miyashita developed Taste the TV. It sprays a combination of flavors from a variety of 10 canisters onto a hygienic film, which then rolls onto a flat TV screen for the viewer to try.
普通テレビっていうのは映像が出る、そして中に大概スピーカーが入っていて音も一緒に出るということで映像と音声が合わさって配信されているというものだと思います。でそれに味覚も加えて味も一緒に配信する。画面を直接舐めるとそこに映っている食べ物の味を本当に味わえるっていう風なデザインにしています。
Miyashita says the flavors of food can be broken down into several tastes, such as salty, sour, and sweet. The machine is programmed with recipes, allowing it to replicate the taste of 20 different kinds of food. And as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to push on, he said the technology could allow people to experience the outside world even when stuck at home.
コロナ禍でずっと家にいるときに離れたところの映像を見るとか離れた人に声で話しかけるっていったことは電話とかテレビを使って行うことができますよね。でも離れたところにあるレストランの味を家にいながらにして味わうということはやはりできなかったというのがコロナ禍の一つの課題だなというふうに感じました。それをなんとか実現して家にいながらにして遠くの味を味わうことができたらというのが、自分の開発動機になります。
The professor works with a team of about 30 students, and the TV is not the only flavor-related device.
Again, wow, what? It's like the modern day scratch and sniff. Are you kidding me right now? So just picture like a family of mental cases like licking the screen. Hey, look, it's a chocolate bar. What is going on? Seriously, what is up here? I swear to God. Guy Blue said, what about porn movies? Well, that's what I said. These people were talking about this themselves. They're like, VR porn just got lit. So, I mean, yeah. Yeah, so we're going to go back to the... Remember the giant projection TVs? Now we're going to go back to those because we need the canisters to be in the back of them. Stop. If they said, listen, we're going to give you one of these TVs so you could try out for yourself. Please take it and cram it in your backside. I'm not interested. If I want food, I'm going to go ahead and taste it. I don't need to be licking a screen. I'm sorry. You know? Yeah, exactly, Robert Morgan. Talk about a super spreader device. You're right about that. Turklerin, you said, I don't know even if I said hi to you. You must have snuck in there. You said, sweet is not the tech. It's not the tech, but smell. If someone can copy that, then he will be the richest man global. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Pat Owen says, AI is to be feared. Yeah, how do you... As silly as this is going to sound, because it's just as silly as this. I mean, you imagine if they go, okay, so basically if your TV's through the Wi-Fi, then they know where you are, they know who you are, and then they go, okay, so now when you look at the screen, now we got your DNA, we can test you now. As crazy as that sounds, it's actually more plausible than this, whatever that's supposed to be. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, Ricardo, thank you again for your support. You said, this takeaway tastes nothing like your advert. I want my money. I want a refund. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, wait a minute. Is that salt toffee? No, it's not. Give me my money back. You know? Yeah. Zulu said Japanese people are running out of ideas. Well, I mean, I get the idea you're trying to come up with new innovations. There's nothing wrong with that. Seriously, but that? I don't care. Rick, that's probably why it actually held it. It said this melted flavored veggie. I mean, but that's I don't know why people just think automatically perverted, but it's kind of like, doesn't it kind of like imply that? It's like right off the bat, it's like, so we know what a candy bar tastes like. We know what, spaghetti tastes like. We know it. Wait a minute. I haven't tried like squid. Let me lick the screen. How do you have enough spray in that thing to be able to do that and give that taste? It's the silliest idea since the dawn of time. It's like the pet rock. Donald D says, a replication food dispenser attached to your TV. Yeah, pretty much. Except you get to lick the screen. How good is that? Graham, ludicrous. Pretty much. These guys are showing like AI and what do you call it here? Terminator and dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I think it's hilarious. I don't know, man. I cringe every day when I see stupid stuff like that. I just go, what? Are we going backwards in evolution, even, call it revolution too, right? I think we need one of those. I'm just going, are we going backwards? I don't know. Yeah, Pat Owen, germs much? Pretty much. Howard Taylor, there's no way I'm looking at TV. They're nuts. Besides, how can they possibly give correct taste? This is crazy, like our president. Pretty much. Kyle Harvey said, add somebody is taking a dump on TV, they can smell and taste it. That's kind of stupid. I know, it's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand if it's like a certain program, like let's say it's a cooking program, like it's, for like any kind of cooking, whether it be baking, whatever. And they have this one program where you can actually do that. I guess it's not bad, but it sounds ridiculous. And like I said, the TV would have to be like this frickin' deep again. They'd have to be able to do that. And like I said, it's like, okay, so the screen's porous enough that we can lick this thing and, oh my God. I don't know. I think they could put their time and efforts into something much better than that. What do you guys think? I think it's just ridiculously stupid. There you go, Pat Owen. Electronic herpes. I wonder if pain could be transferred electronically through the screen. How would it affect a microchip in your body? Well, I think you should be zapped if you're actually going to lick your screen. I think you should, you idiot. What are you trying that for? Well, you guys put it on the TV. I mean, wow. I don't know. Zulu, you said, I mean, I don't think NASA will allow it to happen. Well, I mean, it is only taste, but yeah. Wow. Zulu, I'll just say Zulu Vaughn. I don't think Elon will ever send people to Mars or the moon. How will those people react when they go to the Mars or the moon to see structures, crafts, thoughts? Well, first of all, they'll probably be in an area where there won't be any of those, so you wouldn't probably see them. It's kind of like when they want to take them, I don't know if you're talking about those little, like the trips they're going to take people in the future. Some of them now, like Virgin Galactic, they're going to start taking people up. You're up there for about 11 minutes and you come back down. So, and it'll probably run you, I forget what it was, either 100 or 250 grand, whatever the heck it costs. If they get enough people, it'll cost that cheap. It'll probably be the cheaper on there. But regardless of whatever it costs, you go up, oh wow, that's pretty, wow, back down. So, and then if you go around the moon like they want to try to do, they want to have, going around the moon itself, you can bet that they're not going to show you anything of any value. Like, I don't know if you guys seen this, because I haven't seen this yet. I don't know if it's in any cars, but I remember years ago, I remember reading this where out of a touch of a button, you could tint your windows. Just, it's kind of like an LCD watch, where it just goes, there'd be like ink in the glass and it would just tint it right instantly for you. I think they do have cars with it now. But they'll probably do the same thing. Like, they'll have glass, they'll tint them out so you can't see anything, or something will come up and cover the glass. And then there's an area they want you to see. There's nothing there to see. Now, if we do settle there, they'll probably go there. And again, you won't see anything until you're on the ground, and they'll be landed in a spot where there's nothing there to see. So you can bet if they don't want to let the secret out, they're not going to. Almost bet on it. There's the same BS right here. Scientists invents lickable TV screen that can imitate flavors. No, I'm good. Have you guys seen this yet? And now this has been out for years. This is, in fact, this is on from the Circus of Bedlam. I'm sorry. And this has been out for quite some time. I've seen this when they very first put this out, so credit goes to them for this. But this is from, you can see it right here, featuring Stephen Hawking, Brian Cox, and Yoko Kanno. Are We Alone? Have you guys seen this? This is actually pretty, it's like a music video, but it's cool the way they put this together. I want you guys to see this. And then we're going to do the other one I know you guys have seen about Carl Sagan, the pale blue dot. I think everybody should listen to that every single day when you get up in the morning, and you'll see what I mean. I'll probably get copyright strikes, and I'll have to strike the whole thing out of the video, but, you know, for you guys, I'll do it. But let me show you this. This is cool. It's kind of a fun thing, but cool at the same time. So, let's see.
'Every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a moat of dust suspended in a sunbeam, sunbeam, sunbeam. That's home, that's us. Every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there. Considering again, that's God. That's here, that's home, that's us. Every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there.
Oh, anyway. Yeah, so I think that was pretty cool. It's kind of fun, you know. But like I said, I don't know. Zulu's getting into this. This music, like it or hate it, it's kind of energetic and it's kind of cool. But I like the visual more than anything. Wait a minute, can I lick the screen? What does that planet taste like? Hold on. What was, you God just came in there and says, what would you say, Pornhub app? That was funny. Had me rolling over here. Oh my God, that's funny. Peter Petrelli, what's happening? He said, Chris, folks, howdy. What's going on, Peter? Good to have you in there, man. But I'll tell you one that actually I liked a lot. If you guys have never seen this, I'm going to play this for you. It's just about 4 minutes long. It's Carl Sagan's and His Great Minds. I think it's from the Cosmos edition that he had done. And it's called A Pale Blue Dot. Now, I know some of you have probably heard this, but I want you to forget about the president. I know you guys are talking about the president and everything else that goes with it. I want you to listen to this it makes you feel very small, but you know, but when you see the point of view, the way he says this in this, you go, yeah, what is with all the warring and all the BS? And when you watch this, it makes you feel cool inside too. Let me play this for you because I think you're gonna like this. Like I said, if you haven't seen this, ever seen this, it's cool. So let me get my ugly mug out of the way here. In fact, I'll just disappear myself. Now listen to this carefully, folks. I want you to just don't say nothing. Just listen and watch this.
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.
I don't know about you folks, but I love this thing. I love the way it explains it and stuff like that. It does. It's like, if you really think about all of the madness that goes on this planet, this mote of dust, and you see all of the millions of freaking, you know, stars and planets, everything else, you go, yeah, we're just fighting on this little world. I mean, it's just crazy. When he puts it in perspective like that, it's cool. Some of you guys are saying, like Zulu's saying, Carl Sagan was a cool guy. Long Island, New York says Carl Sagan was Sagan a hack that, dismissed UFO sightings. I truly believe he knew that too. But again, he was probably given the same gag order. Psst, don't say nothing about it. It's taboo. Don't talk about it. But you got to remember, this thing came out in, I think, the 80s, I believe. I could be wrong. It might have been early 90s because it says, 1934 to 1996. Astronomer, astrophysicist, pale blue dot, vision, of human future in space, 1994. So, of course, this goes back. So it was definitely taboo to talk about it. Now it's like open freely within reason, because we know that's not entirely true, because the governments are still putting a lid on it and not letting anybody know anything. So I think that's garbage. But, okay, here we go. So, I mean, did he want to say a lot of things? I'm sure of it. Remember, he's the one, I don't know if he helped design that like golden record type thing that they put on there, and it has like the anatomy of female and male, and of course it showed where our planet was and out of the solar system, and it showed like where the, this, that, and the other third rock and all this other stuff, and different languages and sounds from our planet and everything else. So I think that was put on the Viking, if I'm not mistaken. So it was pretty cool, I mean, as far as that aspect, but I don't think these guys were allowed to talk about it, to be truthful. But you notice how even back then he said, there's nobody here to help us yet, and we can visit other places, but not settle yet. And he was right back then, but at this point we're getting closer and closer to it, right? What's going on there, Third Eye Open? Good to see you in there. You said hello to all and happy holidays. Well, Third Eye Open, I hope you have a great Christmas, you and the fam. Let me see. Limey Watcher says, we don't know the half of it. Yep. Yeah, he was dismissive about it, you're right. But it's kind of like, what's his name, too? Neil deGrasse douchebag. Oh, Tyson, I'm sorry. It's the same thing with him. See how he laughed off? And they said, what are you laughing about? The Pentagon's literally saying there's UFOs now. Yeah. Alien semantians. That's why I thought of him as a decent person. Kind of like he'd never be a Carl Sagan. But still, you kind of looked up to him, astrophysicist as well, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but they're so full of it. They know what's going on out there. They're just not going to say it. How would they get here? He always made a joke about everything. And it's like, stop. It turned out to be a weenie. What's going on, Renee Cruz? I think I just seen you sneak in there. Yep, Kyle, yep. He's talking about the gold disc that was sent in the outer space in the 70s. Yeah, that's the like I said, from the Viking. Not so much orbiter, because they sent, well, it was an orbiter, but they sent that out there. There was actually two of them, I believe. So that was pretty wild. But if you didn't think it was impossible, if you thought it was impossible for any aliens, why would you even do that? So he must have had some kind of inkling that they are out there. They'll eventually see this. Someone, because he went along with it. So I don't know. But I liked him. I think he could put it in layman's terms where people could better understand, the universe and everything else. And like I said, I think the program is called the Cosmos or something like that, where, now this person here, it's F Free Thinker, I think they're the person that put this together as far as the different visuals and stuff like that, right? So the credit goes to them for doing that. But either way, I like it. It's like I think it's more humbling to listen to that if you're to listen to it, frequently. It's pretty good. Tony taking off. Tony P. Good night, guys. Superb hangout. Merry Christmas. All right, Tony, thanks for being with us, and always glad to have you in there. Have yourself a good Christmas, you and the family. That's awesome. Glad to have you in there as always. See, humble pie. The grass is a colossal quantum schmuck. Yeah, you're right about that. And like I said, I used to kind of look up to the guy. I mean, he's knowledgeable, this, that, and the other, but to sit there and laugh it off, and darn good and well, there's much more out there. And it's funny when you see like these, like I said, when you look at that really large photo that was put together from the Hubble, and I forget how many gigabytes this thing is and how many the definition and everything else. When you just zoom into the smallest part of that, you can't tell me we're like the only ones in this universe. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sure a lot of other planets are built the same way ours is. Maybe a little bit more oxygen, maybe a little less oxygen. That doesn't mean something can't adapt to that. You could do it. You go up in the tallest mountain here in the world, you'd be like looking for oxygen. But if you brought up an apparatus that would help you breathe, or you slowly get acclimated to it. Let's say you wanted to live up in the mountains, but you only went halfway up the mountain. Okay, it's thin air. Okay, now I'm getting used to it. I'm going to move up further till finally get to the top. You'd be used to the thin air. But then live up there for 20 years, try to come back down, you'd be like, oh man, you'd have a problem breathing again. But you would adapt. Your body would adapt to this. Long Island, New York. Imagine aliens that had gangs. Well, or, yeah, just groups of people, yeah. Dean Brazil, what's going on? He said, hi, Chris. Sorry I'm late to the party. Hope you are well. Wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas. You too, Dean. Appreciate you saying that. And Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. And glad to have you in there. Yep. Where'd it go? Ah, crap. Where did it go? It just jumped on me here. MG Toe, I didn't even see you get in there either. Let's get to today's presentation, but after your last video, you don't need to. Good job. Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, I still get people asking me too, well, how do you know this is even, this could be Earth. You could be looking at, photos from like a certain part of what. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, but they're going, then why would they even let these photos out? Well, again, based on what I've seen in these photos, both the moon and Mars and other moons and planets, they're absolutely real. And they go, well, why would they even put it out at all? Well, because they have to. It's, again, we're not the first ones to see these photos. So what they do is they just doctor them up after the fact. So everybody who needs to see them, the people that are up here and not down here, they get to see all of this, whether it's, like I said, scientists that work for these space agencies and whatever else. They get to see all of this. People who are into technology and probably the DOD, probably looking at certain things that are like, could be either weapons or power sources or whatever. These people are looking at these things. They okay, slide it through the CGI department. They have one. So why do they even need one of those? Again, they said years ago, it's to aesthetically look better to the people. Whatever. Show me the real raw photo and I'll make up my own mind. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of these photos are stacked. Because they said if you just seen one aspect of it, you wouldn't like recognize the photo or some BS. I'm going, okay, so let me get this right. So if I was to take a regular camera, whether it be a little, well, I call them cheesy cameras from these like iPhones. What I mean by that is they have fantastic cameras, but compared to what's probably on like the Ingenuity helicopter, the Perseverance, even the Curiosity, those cameras are probably dynamic and really, really good cameras, but yet we see garbage. So, okay, so that makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. We should be seeing fantastic photos and we're not seeing that. I don't know. Instead, but some people will question it. It's like, well, how do you know that's not Earth? Why don't they just let the information out? If there's a civilization up there, why not let it out? I just always refer them to the Brookings Report. The report has become noted for one short section entitled The Implications of Discovery of Extraterrestrial Life, which examines the potential implications of such discovery on public attitudes and values. And of course, you can read the rest of it some other time. So I always refer them to this because it starts with this. And who came up with this again? Oh, that's right, NASA. Oh, imagine that. So as far as I'm concerned, there was a reason why they made this. And it was in 1960 they made this. Wait a minute. 1960, they started going the Apollo missions in late 60s, early 70s. Imagine that. Nice timing. So in other words, we're going to be doing this stuff in the future, so shh, don't tell anybody anything. So there you go. This is how it come out. This is the reason why, or not the main reason why. I think, well, it started with the main reason why. But there you go. J Feb, what's going on? You said, evening, good people of Earth. What's happening, Jay? Renee Cruz says, Christmas week vacation. Nothing like it, huh? Yep. I don't know how many videos I'll get out next week. I'm going to try to just knock out a bunch of them too if I can. But, you know, if you don't see a whole lot, it's because vacation, man. We got vacation coming up next week. So we'll be chilling and illin', but that doesn't mean we're not going to have videos out for you guys. We're definitely going to try to knock some out, try to get them out in the evening time or whatever we can. So, you know, we're going to try to get out, you know, some videos. But why not? It's something I like to do. It's, you know, instead of just sitting in front of the TV watching garbage, well, I can watch it for movies, I guess. But, you know, I love doing this stuff too, so we'll see what happens. Not going to leave you guys disappointed. Definitely want to do some more of these, even through vacation. I'll be chilling, but like I said, maybe I'll knock a couple out this week. Carlo Bertrazzi said Carl Sagan was a tradition and healthy skeptic, open-minded and willing to consider the implausible, unlike many at NASA today. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the guy was, like I said, he was, you know, he put everything in layman's terms. He was just a good educator and very brilliant guy. Now, did he know about other beings? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. But that's why he kind of made it look like he never said anything like definitely, there's no aliens. You never heard him say that. He might say, well, you know, we don't know that yet. As of right now, we don't know. So he's keeping an open mind without saying, just like denying it, period. He's not doing that. Three P's Afterlife Contact. What's going on? He said, hey, Chris, what's happening? Sean, you said we know the images exist. Oh yeah, almost guarantee it. Ricardo, so good of Chris to give us all his time this Christmas Eve. Time for you to go spend time with your other family. Well, like I said, I wasn't going to keep it too long anyway, because I told you guys, you know, I'm going to probably do like an hour, maybe 2 hours, and we're at the 2-hour mark, so we may just cut off of this, because I know you folks want to chill out and relax as well. So I might just do that and jump on off of this, and because, like I said, to me, and by the way, this is done by NASA. You can see this right here. Season's greetings from Mars. Credit NASA JPL Caltech, MSSS, and Kevin Gill. I thought that was pretty funny right there, but pretty cool at the same time. So yeah, I mean, you know, I want to thank everybody for a great year. You know, as terrible as it was on the politician side, the COVID side, all of that crap, we managed to make it through another year, actually 2 years. Last one being even worse. So I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys have been awesome, and I can't say it enough that you're just a great bunch of people. The support is just overwhelming. It's just awesome you guys do what you do, and I can't thank you enough. You know, and it's like I said, a big part of this channel is you. It's not me. But I appreciate the fact you guys spend the time to watch the videos and, again, support the channel. And what can I say? I mean, just much love to everybody out there. You know, you guys rock and roll, and women, of course. I don't want to just say guys, because some people get offended by that. I don't know why. But they just go, I'm not a guy. I had one girl say that a couple years back. I'm not a guy. Why do you disrespect me like that? I'm like, you know what I mean? It's not. It's just a saying. It just means you all. So maybe I'll just use that terminology if people get offended. But so yeah, I mean, you know, much love to you all, and you know, but nothing but respect for you folks as well, because you're doing the work too. You're putting in the time, and even if you're not, so what? You're still genuinely interested. You want to expand your mind and know there's much more out there than what we are here. And like I said, I love that the pale blue dot video because it puts it in perspective. It shows, like I said, the planet in our solar system and amongst a billion other stars and planets and suns and whatever else may be out there. And we're actually fighting on it. Think about how crazy that sounds. Like looking at a little ant farm and seeing people arguing and yelling. It's crazy. And, you know, when you look at the size of the Earth and then you look at this little anthill, you go, wow, that's just weird. But, yeah, so that's why I love it. I'll put it in the link just for the heck if you guys want to see it again. But, because that one's hard to find. A couple times it got knocked off and then they had to keep uploading it. I don't know why, but they kept taking it down for whatever reason. It might have been copyright. And I'm sure I'll get hit with it too. So if you see this, parts of those disappear off there, you'll know why. Because it's, you know, they'll probably, you know, strike me on that. But that's okay. It's for entertainment purposes. And I wanted you guys to see this anyway. So, yeah. James Cragen, again, thank you very much for your support, sir, as always. So Chris and everyone else here tonight, have an awesome Christmas, and your families also. You're all fantastic people, and be safe and take care. Happy C. Yep, I hear you, man. I hear you, James. Again, I hope you and your family have a good one. I hope everybody here has a good Christmas, and you know, try not to eat too much food, and you'll probably have to jog across country just to lose the weight. But if you can't get famine, you know, get completely bloated and everything else, what good is it? what's 10, 15 pounds between friends and family, right? But yeah, like I said, folks, you know, I just, you know, want to share that with you that, like I said, it's one thing to every week I tell you guys how much you're appreciated, because I do, but you know, just to be able to go through the whole year, every single year, and especially these last 2 years, has been. It's been tough for some people, and even me. I ran into some snags, having the COVID and stuff like that. But you know, you get through it, and you know, even if you have a little bit lasting results or lasting, you know, stuff going on, you know, because I know a lot of people have issues with that too, and I have a little bit of an issue with it, but it's not bad. It's nothing that can't be, you know, just like what's the word I want to use? Overlooked and not worried about. So I don't really worry about that. But the thing is, it's like it's been awesome just to be able to get away from that all. And I know you guys echoed the same thing. So, again, I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys, yeah, if we got what, almost 180 thumbs up. Hit that 200, folks, before you leave. Hit the thumbs up. Let's whack this bad boy out for the basically the last hangout of the year. So, anyway, with that, folks, I'm going to let you all go. Everybody have yourselves a great Christmas. Like I said, just, you know, stay healthy. Let's start the new year off coming. Like I said, we're going to keep rolling on with this. And be a couple new changes coming up as well. So, you know, stay tuned for that. And, yeah, we're just going to keep rocking it. That's all. Just keep doing our thing. And I hope to see everybody here in the New Year's. And, you know, keep doing your thing as well. Investigate, research, do your own stuff. And then you can tell and know for yourself that this stuff is what it is. Other beings out there. We're not alone. Never have been. So, with that, I'm going to let you guys rock and roll. Oh, God, he said guys again. Oh, crap. Let me see here. James Cragen. One last cloth for the boys, Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, the poor guys, they just, hold on. Let me see. Okay, they're clear now. We're good. All right. They just can't see. You know, what can I tell you, James? They poor guys. But I'm kind of glad they're letting some of that stuff stay in there. Whether it be the AI doing it or them guys just not doing it, you know, 100%. So maybe that's a way of cutting down. It's kind of like doing the automatic checkout, like the self-checkout, as opposed to an actual person being the cashier. Maybe this is the reason why they're doing the AI thing, so they can kill off, when I say kill off, meaning kill off half the people's jobs. You know, like I said, if they had 250 people they laid off in the, you know, CGI department, how many people working in that darn thing? Think about it. So, yeah, they definitely need glasses. They definitely need the white for those, no doubt. But anyway, folks, again, thanks for all being here, especially during the year, these tough times. And I hope everybody has a great Christmas. Be safe. We'll see you guys. Well, I'll leave this on. Why don't we do this? Why don't we leave it on until half past the hour? So 6:30 Eastern Time, my time, and 30 with yours. Okay, folks, everybody be cool. Thanks for being here. Merry Christmas to you all. Peace, and we'll see you soon.